Hi and welcome to our Tuesday lesson on multiplication with the addition or subtraction method. Now this lesson focuses on systems in which you won't always have the same or opposite coefficients for one of the terms. So let's first start with the steps. Step 1. You are going to focus first on multiplying both sides of the first, the second, or both equations so that one of the terms are either the same or opposite, or have the same coefficient or opposite coefficients. Step 2, then you are either going to add or subtract the similar terms. Step 3, you're going to solve the resulting equation. Step 4, you are going to substitute your value for one of the variables into one of the other equations to find your second value. And the last step, you check. Let's now apply those steps to our practice problems. So here we have 6x plus y equals 6 and 3x plus 2y equals 9. In this situation, you can either deal with the x or the y. I'm just going to deal with the x. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation of the second equation by 2 so that I can have the same coefficient for my x term. So I'm now going to have 6x plus y equals 6 and 6x plus 4y equals 18. Make sure you distribute your numbers throughout the equation. And here, because my terms are not opposites, I need to subtract. If that becomes negative, so must this one, and this will also become the opposite. Those two terms cancel out, so now I'm going to have negative 3y equals negative 12, and y equals positive 4. And now I just substitute the 4 into one of my equations, and since the first one seems easier, I'm just going to substitute 6x plus 4 equals 6, and you should end up getting a solution of x equals 1/3. So in this situation, we only had to multiply one of the equations to get a similar term. Now let's do one where we have to multiply both equations by an a term. Okay, we have 4s minus 5t equals 3, and 3s plus 2t equals negative 15. So in this situation, I'm going to find a similar term for my t, for those coefficients. So I'm going to multiply the first equation by 2, and the second equation by 5, so that I can get a coefficient of 10 in front of that t. So 2 times the first equation, I will get 8s minus 10t equals 6. Second equation, 15s plus 10t equals 75. Or sorry, negative 75 since there's a negative sign. Now it really doesn't matter that you use t or s or focus on one or the other. I could have multiplied both equations, or the first one by 3 and the second one by 4, and you'll still end up getting the same solution. So now I can just add my two equations. That cancels out, so I have 23s equals negative 69. And s equals negative 3. And when you substitute this back into your equation, either one, you should get a solution where t equals negative 3. So now let's move on to one last example problem where we have fractions as coefficients. First step, I want to get rid of my denominator. So I'm going to multiply the first equation by an LCD of 2. So this transforms my equation. So now I'm going to have 3x plus 2y equals 12. And I notice still that I do not have the same coefficients on either term. So I'm going to multiply my second equation by 3 so that those x terms will be able to cancel out. So now I'm going to have 3x plus 2y equals 12, and 3x plus 3y equals 15. That's a 3 on the side. And since these two terms are positive, I'm going to subtract the second equation, which turns everything to its opposite. That cancels out. I now have negative y equals negative 7. In other words, y is equal to negative y is equal to negative 3, and y equals positive 3. And when you solve for x, you should get a solution of x equals 2. And for your fourth practice problem, this one you'll be doing on your own and submitting your solution on the form. Before that, I just wanted to give you a random fact for today. And our random fact is that on March 19th in the year 1918, the U.S. Congress established time zones and also approved daylight savings time. So for those of you who are still waking up 1 hour than you're supposed to, you can blame the U.S. Congress from 1918. All right, so your practice problem is the following. Solve the following system. So x over 2 plus y over 3 equals negative 4, and x over 5 plus y over 5 equals negative 2. So in the form, please submit your answer as an ordered pair, and I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you bring any questions that you may have.